Hello, good morning. It is February 8th, 2021, and I am your host, Gillian Rhodes, and I am here. I am back, sort of halfway-ish part. I am here, at least in body and in spirit, perhaps halfway in spirit. Anyway, it has been a long break. I have not seen you CosmoQuesters in over a month, I think, at this point. And you've been hearing a lot about the new launch of the new show that Gillian's going to come back with, Steam Cafe. And well, unfortunately, we are not steaming into this new launch, if you'll pardon the expression. We are just gently and, oh, that was the wrong language. The word that I'm looking for is in the wrong language in my brain, but it has to do with just gently revving up the energy to leave the station, because it is still 2021 and life does not move particularly fast. So today is a soft launch, let's say, of Steam Cafe. Next week we will blast off with the upcoming show for the year, with all of the relaunch excitement. I do have a guest lined up for next week, and I'll tell you a bit about it. But in the meantime, today I just thought I'd take some time to just catch up with y'all, say hello. As I said, it's been forever since I've been streaming, so it's nice to not see you, but sort of talk at you, and eventually, in theory, you talk back at me in the chat. But it's nice to be here. I missed this. I have been underwater with the project basically for the last month, and because we had this plan to sort of relaunch the show and rebrand it and kind of take it out of community coffee and put it into its own thing, so I decided that that was like the perfect time, and especially because this project that I was working on was like so much work, that I said, let's just do this, where I'll take the time off, work on that, we'll rebrand, and then I'll come blasting back in with Steam Cafe. It's, it is the times that we live in, so it's not quite a blast off, but you know what, never mind. Words are hard. Because I cannot have a big launch today, which is totally fine, but I am wearing molecule earrings. I found these at the local store when I was there earlier, and I just saw them as I was coming in, and they always have great little earrings. And they're very, very cheap, by the way, but I just see the earrings when I come in, and I was like, I think those are sciencey. And so if anybody can tell me what this molecule is, if it is a molecule, if it actually is something, I would be very curious to know what I'm wearing in my ears. But so today I figured, since we put the show together a little bit late, and the community has stepped up to get it on the air. Starstrider found something new that she was allergic to, so Keeper of Maps has been producing for me today. So the community has stepped up when I figured I'd bring the molecules. If they're coffee molecules, I'm gonna be so happy. If it is coffee molecules, it's gonna make my life. So I'll just hold it up one more time, and you can see if you recognize it. For your chemistry people, I don't know actually what. I'm not a chemistry person. I have no idea. So I actually managed to avoid taking chemistry in high school. I don't know how that happened. I came in a year late into my high school. I took biology, I took physics, but I somehow managed to skip chemistry. And I didn't take it in university, so I'm literally clueless when it comes to chemistry, but somebody can help me out. Anyway, Steam Cafe. It is all about Steam, which I've been punning incessantly, and I probably will be punning incessantly every time I get on this show. But Steam stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. It is kind of adding the arts into the traditional STEM model because arts and science go together. They fit together super, super well. And so it's, we have to put STEAM into, arts and STEM go together and they should be. So anyway, somebody thought of it and they're amazing, whoever they are. They thought of, somebody, Astrowise has put in the chat the image of the caffeine molecule. I don't think that's what this is. I think it's this caffeine molecule is too small. I'd be willing to guess, actually, that this is not actually a molecule, that it's just a fake molecule that somebody basically just was like, hey, let's put something together that looks vaguely science-ish and people will like it. But there you go. So the plan for basically Steam Cafe is basically what I've been doing for the past year. It's going to be probably primarily either me rabbit holing on some, science art related topic or talking to a guest. I might, obviously because it's me, so I might dance every now and then. So actually I thought, when I was planning this show, I actually did plan this show, but it's Monday and I'm tired, so I've forgotten everything that I planned. But I thought I would take a little bit of time since I think I've talked a little bit about what I do. And obviously, if those of you who've been following CosmoQuest, so you know what I do, but I thought I'd talk a little bit about it and tell you actually a little bit about the project that I've been working on, the reason that I have been on hiatus. And then I'll tell you a little bit about the guests that are coming and, have some big hype, and then we'll move on with our days and lives separately. But so basically, in case you don't know yet and you haven't seen any of these shows, I'm a professional dancer and choreographer. That's actually what I do. It's not my side job. It's actually what I do. And I've been doing it for about 8 years. I currently live in Lahore, Pakistan for about 3 years. And I work freelance, teaching, modeling, dancing, choreographing, doing all this different stuff. And before that, I've been in a couple different places. I've been wandering for a while. But basically what I do is what I love to do most is I love to perform and perform dance. And particularly, I like to tell stories. So as if you've seen some of the shows that I've done, I've been kind of mixing in some science concepts. So I danced like the Trappist system and the Drake equation. And then I think I did a couple of live shows where I was making a piece about a constellation and the story behind it. I made a piece. There's one piece that I keep talking about, and I actually haven't seen it in a long time. But at the CosmoQuest, I did an impression of a tentacle monster, which I'm still looking for. Like I just remember with great fondness doing the tentacle monster dance, and I'm sure it'll come back. Actually, I've just kind of pulled the trigger on getting some new toys, a new camera, and a new phone. So I'll have some new, like, proper actual gear to make some new videos and stuff. I have been thinking in the past month about starting my own Twitch, doing live stream performances basically on a regular basis. Sometimes improvisation based and sometimes like preparation. But I haven't quite sorted that out yet. I'm just sort of that would be kind of interesting. So on this show, Steam Cafe, of course I will perform at some point because I have to, it's me. It will be, if I find a really interesting astronomy related topic, I'll make a dance about it. Usually what I like to do is kind of show you a little bit how it's made. This is my flat flash studio, and it's not very aesthetically pleasing for the day, but like the way the light bulbs work is that they kind of come out of the wall like this, which means that I can wrap cardboard around them and make spotlights, which is great for like at home studio stage experience, which is fun. So I can kind of make a dramatic lighting in my flat. So I kind of show you how I do that sometimes. Um, and then basically I'll also have guests, because obviously some of the people that I was able to talk to last year were just incredible. And like, I think the two interviews that I was like the most like fangirling about afterwards was Nahum, who is this artist who was basically the first artist to be named a young space leader and was on this like cultural council for space. It was just incredibly amazing artist. And then the last one of the last ones that I did before the hiatus just now, which was when I got to interview astronaut Nicole Stott. So I was just, you know, the people that I was able to speak to was just amazing. Coming up, I have 2 interviews lined up for the next couple of weeks. The first is somebody named Sam Illingworth, and he's basically combining poetry and games to teach science, and he's just fascinating. His website's really interesting, and you know, he does do a lot of other kinds of science, but included astronomy, so he'll be part of that. And then after that, there's a Malaysian artist actually who I found through this group called Sci Art Party, and she'll be coming on. She just does these really incredible paintings. I think she also uses the UV light, which is similar to another artist that I interviewed. So, so that's that. And I have a lot of people to contact on my list that I just haven't yet. But I think there's going to be really exciting. There's somebody that I'm trying to pin down. Who goes by the kind of the quantum ballerina, but basically she's Dr. Merritt Moore, who has been choreographing robots basically, and dancing with robots basically. She's just, I mean, I follow her on Instagram and I'm like such a fan. So hopefully she'll be able to join us in a few weeks. As always, if you know of people who are doing awesome science art, preferably astronomy related, then please do pass them on to me. I'm on Discord in the community, in the CosmoQuest Discord. So please do pass them on. I'm always looking for new people to get in touch with, and keep the science art rolling. I think it's, you know, it's a small community, but it's also not. There's so many people out there who are doing really really incredible work. I'm used to saying everything is astronomy related if you abstract hard enough. I suppose that's true. You know, it's a matter of perspective. We still have not figured out what the molecules are that are on my ears. So let me just take the moment, if anybody has come in late, to show you these molecule earrings that I'm wearing. The mystery of the day is what actually this molecule is. I'll put my hand behind it so you can see. We have not yet managed to figure out what this molecule is. I am of the opinion that it's not a thing, but you never know. It might be a thing. I just don't like cheap earrings in a grocery store in Lahore, Pakistan. I'm just like, I just don't think somebody was that, you know, much of a designer. I don't know. It's not like, I don't know. That's, what is THC? What is THC? What is THC? That's interesting. Hang on, I have to mute for 1 second. I would just like to say I am not sick. I am very slightly ill. And it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. There's no fever, there's no aches. It's a predictable outcome of shooting a music video in a sleeveless dress in at night, basically. It's a predictable outcome. It just happens. So hexing is THC. Oh, I see. Well, there you go. That makes more sense. Actually, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense why I found it in that grocery store. But there you go. Nobody can see it. It's on my ears. Um, never mind. Anyway, so let me tell you what I've been working on for the last month. So it's not, I haven't actually announced it publicly yet, and it's going to be announced on my Instagram pretty soon. But it's not actually been announced. But basically, it's a project for this festival coming up in March here in Pakistan called the World of Women Festival, and basically the piece is done in collaboration with the British Council and the WOW Foundation, which is kind of it's called the WOW Festival World of Women. Or Women of the World, one of the two. I need to look on their Instagram and make sure because I don't actually know. But basically, so it's a piece that I pitched, and it was produced in collaboration with this foundation, and it's a piece called More Than My Gender, and it's me and two other performers. There's one of whom is in a wheelchair, the other one is affected by cerebral palsy. So it's been a really interesting process. It's a 15-minute performance, blending dance and spoken word, and it's basically the concept of the piece is that women are generally defined in relation to or in connection with their gender, um, more than men do, and then there's it's more to that, basically. You know, basically complex. We are complex humans, not so much gender. So that is basically what the piece is about. But it was a big project because was making original. I was having music made for the project. It was, I had to be in charge of getting all of the shoot, all of the things together, all of the costumes I had to manage, like, all the performers, rehearsals, music. Like, it was just like, I don't know. I do tend to get manic about stuff, but I've just it was just such a process to get this project out. So basically, where it is right now, where it is, Astro-wise, yes, that is that festival. This year, obviously, it's going to be online, and which means actually that you guys will be actually able to see it because it will be actually broadcast online. So it'll be on March 6th, Saturday. I think it'll be at 7:15 a.m. Vancouver. So, do your time zone conversions accordingly, but it will be online, it will be screened. And I'm really proud of it. I haven't actually seen the final video. I haven't actually seen the footage of the shoot. Let me just let me just be clear. We have shot it, but I have not actually seen the video yet. In theory, I'm getting my poster and my teasers today or tomorrow, in theory. So cross your fingers because I haven't actually seen any footage yet, and I would really like to. So that's what I've been working on, essentially. I mean, I also teach at a school, and I have random shoots that always come up here and all this kind of stuff. So it's definitely it's definitely basically, I'm tired. Let me just put it that way. I'm tired. I have been I'm just watching the chat. It's like I don't know what's going on. We're very confused about the molecule. People are in the corner, time zones are happening, it's a mess. But so basically, that's what I've been working on for the last month. The bulk of my work is there. Right now, it's being edited by by the filmmaker, and so the bulk of my work is done mostly for now. And then, once we get all the content, then we'll start doing all the marketing and blah 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 blah. So um, it's been a busy time. This month, I'm planning here in Lahore, actually, because the situation is not as crazy as it is in some other places in the world, which shall go unnamed. The situation is not so bad here, and there are things happening with precautions. There's a performing arts space, which I do a lot of work with, which has started to do shows, with SOPs and masks and all this kind of stuff. So they're taking care, but doing stuff. And I'm planning a solo show at the end of this month, which is kind of scary because I've never actually done a solo show. I've performed solos, certainly. I've been in showcases. I've performed in groups. I've done my own choreography for like 35 minutes, but it was with other dancers. So I've never actually done a proper solo show where it's just me on stage for the whole evening. And I'm planning basically 3 solos of about 15 minutes each, with short breaks in between for me to like recover. And so I'm planning to do that, and I'm both excited and terrified about it because I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can do it, if I have that stamina. I don't know if people will be interested in that long. I have this feeling that like after I do this, people will be like, we don't want to see Gillian perform for like the next 6 months. Like, enough. As they would say here in Urdu, bas ho gaye. Bas ho gaye. It's like, I've seen it. It's good. Go take a break, Gillian. But let's see. I don't know. I just have to try because I'm curious. I'd like to know if I can do it. So that's kind of what's coming up for me. So I'll be working on that pretty hard. Hopefully, also finding guests to come on Steam Cafe. I'm really excited about having this as kind of its own show because I think, it just started off basically. I think, if I remember correctly, last year when I joined the CosmoQuest community, because I just started listening to Astronomy Cast and randomly found my way through the Patreon, and I found myself in the Discord right about the time they were asking for suggestions for community coffee, like, what do you guys want to see and stuff. And I said, why don't you guys do an art-based show? And it's what usually happens when I make those kind of suggestions to people is they're like, okay, do you want to do it? And I always say yes, because why not? So I said sure. And then it just developed into this giant thing. And then I started interviewing people who sent more people my way. And then I met these people and then this. And I think what was the coolest really about the whole process, besides the amazing people that I met, is that I actually got to collaborate artistically with two of the guests that I had. So I did a collaboration with Paul Matt Sutter, and so I did this piece called "Explorer Ready or Not," which is on my YouTube channel. Which is Gillian Rhodes, the performer, basically, if you want to find me on YouTube. But basically, I did this piece where he was narrating from his book, and then I did a piece based on it, and that was really interesting. And then I did a collaboration with this Croatian sculptor that was on my show. He wasn't actually on my show. He had a friend and his nephew who were like speaking on his behalf because he doesn't speak English. But we did this collaboration where he basically sent me his digital light paintings, and then I just projected them into my closet while I was dancing in my closet, and made this piece that was basically called First Contact, where I was just imagining being this kind of like weird creature in the dark. And so that was just really interesting, and it was kind of fun that, like, you know, I'm hosting this show, but I'm also doing it as an artist, essentially, as a person who is making art and responding to art. And I think it's just so cool that it led to some of these artistic collaborations. Um, and it's basically combining, two of like the longest loves of my life, which is dance and astronomy. So it's just great fun to kind of put that together. And I always loved doing these. I think it was about like once every month or so that I would do a dancing stream. and and it was funny because, I mean, you guys were very, very kind and appreciative, but there would always be kind of one person who was reliably in the chat being like, what is she doing? And I just thought it was always very funny because, it's just bringing a different perspective and a different sort of thing to the table. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what I have to say for today. I'm really happy to be back, and Steam Cafe will definitely be steaming by next week. We're just warming up the water and getting the engine going this week, but I'm really glad to be here. So if you have suggestions, or if you things that you want to see, maybe something that you think I should rabbit hole on, a guest you think I should interview, something that you think I should make a dance about, so please do let me know. And I would love to have your suggestions. And and that's about it, basically. So sorry, I was just reading the chat. There was something happened in the chat that distracted me. Um, but anyway, that is all I have for today. It is about time for me to go to bed here in Pakistan. It's 9 p.m. and I have to get up at 6. So I'm going to be off to bed. You guys have a great day. Stay safe. Be wonderful. And come join. I think there's Minecraft Monday, Daily Space. Maybe it's Daily Space. I think there's Daily Space is coming up very soon. So come back in 2 hours for Daily Space. Bye bye.